Yo, welcome back everyone. I hope everyone's having an amazing day. And yeah, we just hit 2K. I'm just super surprised. I couldn't believe that we actually hit 2K in like a short amount of time. But for right now, we're going to be doing What If Deku Had Sunbreathing Part 6. This is actually going to be the final part to this What If. And there's going to be a movie as well. And if there's nothing else, let's just jump straight into the intro.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
So last time where we left off with both Izuku and, basically everyone in Class 1A doing their hero training with All Might. So basically, everyone's hero training with All Might is done, so let's just jump straight into the USJ arc. So everyone gets onto the bus, and since Izuku's clothes and hero clothes are super burnt, he can't wear them, so he has to wear his regular gym clothes from UA. So while everyone's on their bus, everyone starts talking about their quirks and how Izuku's quirk and, Bakugo's and, Todoroki's quirk are super cool, and how they would like to trade their quirks for theirs. As Izuku says that his quirk's actually not that great, it just helps him breathe better. As everyone's wondering what Izuku's saying, Izuku explains to them, telling them that basically his stuff is, kind of confidential and he can't tell them everything, but basically his quirk allows him to breathe better. As everyone's just wondering what he's talking about, all of a sudden everyone gets to UA as Aizawa tells everyone to quiet down and to get off the bus. When Izuku sees the USJ, Izuku gets a weird feeling. He doesn't know what it is, but he knows something's wrong. As he tells Aizawa this, he tells Aizawa that something feels wrong, but Aizawa just says to tell him what's wrong inside when they get inside the USJ. As Izuku listens to Aizawa, but Izuku still feels unsettling. Something familiar, but he knows that something's wrong. As Izuku walks into the USJ, he sees 13 as 13 starts to explain everything to everyone, as everyone starts looking around the USJ and sees how amazing it looks. As Aizawa tells everyone that they should pay attention to 13, but then all of a sudden, down in the middle of the USJ, a portal appears, as everyone hears the portal opening, as they all look at it, as this huge portal appears, as Shigaraki and the Nomu step out. As Izuku's bad feeling was correct, but as immediately as the Nomu stepped out, Izuku immediately knew what it was. Yes, this is still the same Nomu, but this is a bit different. This Nomu is a demon, and Izuku knew that he had to, kill this demon to make sure that it doesn't exist anymore, as Izuku was wondering how demons even still exists. As immediately as Izuku blitz down and is about to attack the Nomu, but the Attaku blocks himself, and Izuku doesn't know how to attack the Nomu, as the Nomu is huge and has multiple quirks and is also a demon. As Izuku immediately uses lightning breathing and starts blitzing around the Nomu as he tries to look for an opening and starts attacking it. But then, as Izuku stops, all of a sudden Shigaraki lunges at Izuku, and with no other choice to, deflect this attack, Izuku immediately cuts off one of Shigaraki's hands, as Shigaraki starts screaming in pain, telling the Nomu to kill Izuku, as all the other villains start flooding in, as they start to attack all the other kids, as everyone's trying to do their own thing, but Izuku's focusing on the Nomu, remembering his grandfather's words, telling him that the Demon Slayer Corps got rid of all the demons, and that's the reason why everyone is safe. And Izuku starts, blitzing around this Nomu, trying to kill it as fast as possible. But this Nomu doesn't have multiple openings. But then, the Nomu, all of a sudden, uses one huge punch and knocks Izuku straight to the ground. As Izuku passes out, all of a sudden, Izuku wakes up and the mark on his forehead starts to grow, as his eyes start to glow red, as all of a sudden, Izuku starts blitzing around the Nomu as he starts to use Sunbreathing. As all of a sudden, the mark on his hand starts to grow as well. As all of a sudden, there's flames on his hand. As Izuku immediately starts blitzing around the Nomu and starts cutting it into pieces. Because Izuku still doesn't know how to defeat a demon. He doesn't know that he has to cut off the head of the demon to destroy it, or he has to use a Nichiren sword. But I'm gonna say that he can use a Moonlight sword style sword to, defeat this Nomu, okay? So Izuku immediately starts blitzing around the Nomu, starts cutting the Nomu. And the Nomu's taking a decent amount of damage, but since all the quirks that the Nomu has, he's still putting up a fight against Izuku. As Izuku's having a hard time, as this fight continues on for a decent amount of time. As we switch over to the perspective of Bakugo and all the other students, we see that everyone's kind of struggling against all these villains, since all these villains have some sort of enhancement, as no one knows what's wrong with these villains, as these villains seem much more stronger than usual. As Froppy is on the boat and is trying to save herself, as Froppy figures out a way, and Mineta as well, they figure out a way. But then, all of a sudden, All Might bursts through the doors of the USJ as he yells that I'm here. As he looks down and sees Izuku still fighting the Nomu. As he sees Izuku fighting the Nomu, but all of a sudden, Izuku passes out from using Sunbreathing for so long. As All Might knows what he has to do, he immediately blitzed down toward the Nomu. And since Izuku did a ton of damage to the Nomu, I'm gonna say it only takes All Might around 150 punches to take care of this Nomu. As he immediately starts punching the Nomu, as Shuriguraki knows that he can't fight all these heroes, and since All Might's here, he knows that he can't do much as well. As he starts retreating through the portal, as Kirigiri also starts telling everyone that they better retreat. As everyone and all the villains start to retreat, All Might defeats the Nomu as he punches the Nomu up into the air. As everyone's alright, as All Might picks up Izuku. But then all of a sudden, steam starts to come off of All Might. As All Might knows what he has to do, he blitzes out of the USJ and goes back to the infirmary, still carrying Izuku. As Izuku wakes up, he sees his classmates surrounding him. As his classmates are still amazed at how powerful Izuku really is. As Inosuke just looks at Izuku and frowns, saying that he probably could have taken care of that Nomu as well. As Izuku smiles, telling Inosuke that he probably should have then. As everyone starts chuckling around, as All Might tells Izuku that was dangerous, and he shouldn't have been so reckless. As Izuku apologizes to All Might, as everything starts to go back to normal. But when they go outside to go home, all the reporters start to surround them and starts asking them questions. As Izuku doesn't want to tell them about demons to, not to harm human society, and just doesn't tell anyone about it. But Izuku goes to his grandfather again that day. As he goes to his grandfather and tells him what happened. As his grandfather's astonished and tells Izuku that they should keep them to themselves, and tells the underground secret demon cleric corps to make sure that they can take care of all the new demons that appear. As Izuku's confused what his grandfather means, as his grandfather smirks and tells Izuku to come to his house the next day. As he comes to Izuku, Izuku goes to his grandfather's house. His grandfather takes Izuku to a secret place, as all of a sudden, he sees all these new demon slayers and all these people holding swords, as he notices Inosuke and his grandfather, who looks pretty similar to Inosuke as well. As all of a sudden, Inosuke looks at Izuku and tells him that they're going to be fighting a lot of demons. As Izuku's confused, as he notices that there's also some heroes in this as well. As Izuku asks what's going on, as his grandfather smirks, telling Izuku that they're going to be starting a new Demon Slayer Corps. As Izuku smirks, knowing that this is going to be hard, and know that the new demons have to be defeated. As Izuku, starts training and makes sure that he's on top of his game. As he goes to the school the next day, Aizawa tells everyone that basically there's going to be a sports festival and everyone probably should get ready. And that everyone gets a few weeks off to go train themselves up so they can fight in the sports festival. And I'm going to say that Izuku blitzed through the sports festival. Since Izuku is still extremely powerful, and Izuku could have taken on the Nomu by himself, except for his Sunbreathing if he didn't have that drain. So I'm going to say that this what if ends around here. There's no point in going on with this what if, since Izuku is pretty overpowered right now. He could probably take on Overhaul or basically any of the other villains, even One for All if he wanted to, since he's so overpowered, and most of his thing is not from his quirk and actually from the forms. I'm gonna say that Izuku's extremely powerful. So that's where we're gonna be ending off this What If and this What If series. And again, if you guys like this What If, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Hit that sub button. And there's also another thing. Since we hit 2K, there's gonna have to be a 2K special. So I want you guys to join the Discord and go down to the, the What If section and the What If ideas and post some of your What If ideas down in the description. If you guys can give me a good idea and, you guys start voting on them, that's what our 2K special is gonna be. If there's no other further questions, this is where I'm gonna be ending off the video, and I'll see you guys later.